Good morning. It is 3 o'clock in the morning right now. I just woke up. It's been a very long week. We are coming off the Stanley Cup playoffs week, and we had a very eventful couple days leading up to it. We went to the final practice that our team had. You can hear practices are usually open, and so we went to that on Monday because it was, a big deal. We had to get there very early and wait in line, and we didn't go in immediately. Once we got in, we went to the coffee bar and got some coffee, and went to the store and looked around, and then we went into the wait for practice to begin. So by the time we got in there, and all the stands were full, so we stood at the very top in the back. And I can't be on my feet very long anymore, so it's rare that we go and do something like that and then I pay for it later. I really do. um, but it was worth it, and it was fun. So we were up at the back, and being that it was the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we were in the back, all the media kept walking by us, because it was easier just to come up and go through the back than to go down in the front where everybody was. So we saw everybody from the NHL network and our local media. One of the guys from our local stations we watch, Fox 5 out here, we saw one of their sports guys. He walked right in front of us, and I guess he had a jacket on that had Fox 5, but I recognized his face, and I'm like, Fox 5! There's a guy from the Canadian sport, like ESPN, they're up there. They're ESPN up there, or TSN or something like that. He was around too. I don't know his name though. Um, so that was kind of cool, being in that area and seeing just all kinds of people walking by us. It was pretty cool. Um, there's probably ESPN people there, but I don't watch ESPN, so I wouldn't know. Um, so that was fun, and then we got there around a little bit before 7, and I think we got home around noon-ish. So that was quite a long time. And then, so that was Monday. Tuesday was the game, and we had planned to go back to the practice facility to eat dinner and watch the game. And I had called. I'm like, "Can you reserve a spot?" I'm like, "Well, we only do reservations for parties of 12 and more." I'm like, "I don't even have 12 people in town that I know that watch hockey, so damn." And I'm like, "All right." They're like, "So get here a couple hours early, at least." So the game started at 5. We got there about 3:30, and it was packed. I'm like, damn. I'm like, all right. So there's plenty of time for us because we took the bus, to get back on the bus and come back to where we live. Um, and there's a shopping center right next to my apartment, and has a grocery store and, you know, PetSmart and all kinds of other things, and has a bar that we used to go to all the time. I mean, not that we're big drinkers, but we used to go there and eat. And when we started watching hockey, we'd go there and watch games until we got the system that we have now that we can watch games. My cat has a cone on, and I have to make sure he's not trying to scratch. Um, so we went to the bar, and I had called before we got there, right when we left the practice facility. Um, I asked him, like, "Do you have room?" She's like, "Yeah, it's still early." I'm like, "Well, not for this place." I'm like, "All right, we'll be there soon." So we got there about 4, and we spent our time there, and it was in time for happy hour, so we got happy hour food and I got a glass of wine. Sorry, I have my TV on as my light, and it's not so bright right now. And my boyfriend had a few beers, and then the game started. And what a game! Oh my gosh! I don't know if you're into hockey or if you even watch the game or if you even care, but we just creamed the other team, the Panthers. We creamed them. It was, the final score was uh, three uh, 3-9, and I don't think we've ever gotten 9 goals in a game ever. It was crazy. I mean, it was just like they just kept scoring. I'm like, what? I know I'm a little buzzed because I don't usually drink, and I had by the time the game ended, I had 2 glasses of wine. But they're like not that big. They don't fill your glass up ever. So, but when you don't drink a lot, I'm like, I know I'm a little buzzed, but gee Louise, I'm like, wow, that was crazy. And I mean, the bar was just going insane. So it was fun. And then the next day was my birthday. So, and in that game they won the championship. So they won the Stanley Cup, and um, so and forgot to mention, I bought these shoes from Temu, and I do like them, but they're just slightly small. So my big toe gets kind of squashed and feels like it's um, if I wear them for too long. So I had worn those shoes to the practice. By the time I got home, that didn't help my problems at all. My toe was killing me. Everything else about the shoes fit. It's fine. The bottom of my feet don't hurt. I mean, maybe they do, but everything's concentrated on the toe. So I put the shoes back on to go out to eat because I knew we weren't going to be walking much, and I could deal with it. Well, I had to walk home from the bar because there's no sense to get back on the bus, wait for the bus, and get on the bus and go 1 block up. But I was suffering. Had I been by myself, I would have. But my boyfriend, he's not. He's like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, whatever. So maybe being a little tipsy helped me stumble home. I wasn't drunk walking home, but I probably looked like it because I was like, my foot hurts. I almost considered taking my shoe off, but it was dark out and I couldn't see what I was going to be walking on. But so that kind of sucked. But um, I will order those shoes again, but I'm going to get them like a half size bigger because I do like them. But yeah, so. And then the next day was my birthday, and my boyfriend had the day off. It's his normal day off, and we were both so exhausted from his other day off was Monday, so we spent the morning at practice. We went to out to watch the game, and then Wednesday we were both just so tired from being out, and he didn't get drunk at all, but we don't really drink that much, so he didn't have a hangover or a headache or anything. But you feel it the next day when you have more than like 2 beers. And then he was drinking Jack and Coke, so I think he had 2 or 3 of those. I'm like, damn. So, um, we didn't do anything for my birthday, which was completely fine with me. I was like, he's like, he made a mention of going out for breakfast. I'm like, hell no. I'm going nowhere, especially for breakfast. I'm so tired. I'm not putting any shoes on my feet today. Um, I'm not going anywhere at all. So we ordered IHOP to be delivered, and then um, they actually had a food truck at my apartment by the office. They had a food truck later on around 4 to 7, so we did that for dinner. It was really good. It was like a Asian fusion type thing, but really simple menu. It was like chow mein noodles and either a beef or a chicken to go on, with it. He got the beef, I got the chicken, and it was like a garlic noodle. So good, but very pricey. Told my boyfriend, I go, before we went out there, I already looked at the menu and the prices, and I'm like, it's kind of pricey, but you have to factor in that they're paying for gas to come to wherever they're going, so it's going to be a little higher, and probably maybe the equivalent of paying for DoorDash, you know. So, but it was good, really good, and that's what we did for my birthday. Just slept and tried to recover my body because my when I stand on my feet long, my back and my right hip and my left foot usually hurt. So I paid for that, but it was fun. And then Saturday they had the championship um, rally and parade where they went down the Las Vegas Strip like two lights, which we have very long blocks here, but that's still not very long. Um, um, so it was like they should have gone down the whole strip, you know, the whole strip. But I guess for some reason there's some city ordinance or it's a county and city thing to they went down their two blocks and um, ended up in front of where they play and did their come out on a stage and stuff and that was some of the funniest moments I think I've seen all year. Um, the players were some were a little too drunk, and they had been drinking and partying and golfing for since Tuesday night when they won, and it was Saturday when they had the parade. And one of the one of the players just stole the show. He he came out on the stage, and I don't know if they told them that there were going to be steps to go down, and because it looked like it was surprise, it was a surprise for many of them. And one of them, as soon as he got on the steps, he kind of like fell right on his butt. You got screenshots of people just taking pictures of his his reaction. His hair is in the air, and he's looking surprised. Yeah, I think he had a beer in his hand. He didn't spill his beer. I'm like, what a pro! Wow, what a pro! You didn't spill one drop of your beer, man. Wow, I would have had that stuff all over me, all over everyone. Yeah, so that was the beginning of the hijinks and the entertainment factor. He later was talking on the microphone and being a little intoxicated, forgot it was live TV, and was saying words that you don't usually hear on your local station. He was like using cable words, and we were watching on our local news, and they were trying to catch it, trying to bleep him out. They missed a couple, but yeah, he was the star of the show, William Carlson. The next day was Father's Day. I'm sure his Father's Day, they just had a baby in the playoffs. His wife had their first baby, so I'm sure his first Father's Day was memorable for more reasons than a normal father. Whether, and I want to know, did he remember what happened, what he said, or was he that drunk? I mean, he didn't seem that drunk where, oh my God, what did I say? What did I do? But I don't know. Um, I would really have loved to seen him wake up and just react to what happened the night before. And either he owned it and said, yeah, I totally remember that and I meant it. Or like, oh my God, I said that. Oh no. Either way would have been comical. But yeah, it was fun. Um, my boyfriend was like, let's almost saying let's go, but he had to work early the next morning. And I'm like, oh, hold on. Locals don't go to the strip usually, and not having a car might have been good for us at that point because parking, I'm sure, was a nightmare. But I'm like, I am not going. Even if we hadn't gone anywhere early in the week, I'm like, I'm not going because you know how early you got to get there, and it was hot. And once you get there, you're kind of stuck there. How do you get to the bathroom? How do you find where you were standing the night before? Yeah, no. I'm like, I will gladly sit at home and watch it in my air conditioning on the couch. So yeah, it was a nice birthday 49 should be a very interesting year. Let you know how my cat's doing. He can't retract his nails anymore, and he scratched. I guess he has a big gash, like his ear. You know how the ear is up here. So on the side by his ear, he had a big gash, like a deep gash, and he had been shaking his head, and blood had been going everywhere, looking like a crime scene, and couldn't figure out. My boyfriend thought maybe it was coming from his nose. I'm like, I don't see anything coming from his nose, so I had to pin him down and look at his ear, and it is just on the inside. It was all bloody and stuff. And I'm like, oh my god. So we got him a cone finally, and that was like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks now. Um, and it's clearing up now to the point where I can see where the damage was. Don't think there's an infection. He doesn't cry like there's anything wrong. And he's really good about having the cone on, surprisingly. I thought he was going to cry the whole time. He only cried for about 10 minutes when I first put it on him. And I really thought it was going to be much worse. So he just kind of adapted, and he doesn't like it, but I take it off him for him to eat and drink water, and I'm there watching him to make sure he doesn't scratch himself. Like, I stand right there and watch him, and then I put the cone back on him. And then my boyfriend's like, he feels bad about, not having money to go take him in. I'm like, honestly, I go, because I went to school to be a vet assistant, and I don't know everything, but all they would really do is the same thing we're doing. They would give him a cone and probably give him some medicine, which I don't think is actually necessary. They might give him some antibiotics in case he had an infection, which he's not showing any signs that he has one. Looking at the wound, it doesn't look like red and irritated. Like if you have an infection, it's kind of usually red around the wound because he had inside of the ear was kind of jacked up too. It doesn't look like it's that. And once he gets a little more healed, I can look at him better. I think he'll let me. But so he's doing pretty good. He just kind of tries to scratch the cone. And how I can judge how he's doing is if there's blood on the cone. And last 2 days there hasn't been any blood, so it's healing nicely. He's letting it heal. He's not reopening it by rubbing on the cone. So he's doing really good. Maybe another week or two with wearing the cone, and then he can get it off. I'm gonna try to grind his nails down with the nail grinder for the pets. I have one of those for my dog. I had a friend that was supposed to come in town right before my birthday. She went to vet class with me, and I never heard from her, so I don't know if she came or not. I was hoping she could help me hold him while I could grind his nails, because there's a certain way. It's called a kitty burrito, and it's best when you have two people. And I don't necessarily remember exactly how to do it. I can look in my notes and look in my book, but I know she still does work with animals, and she would know better than me. But she never let me know she was in town, so that's out. So I got to do it myself. So good luck on that. I think he'll let me. He's pretty chill. He doesn't like things, but he lets me do it. No, he doesn't try to bite me or scratch me or anything, so he's being a really good boy. Hi, Gizmo. Yeah, so. Alright, I think I will let you go now. Okay.